Hello and welcome to another update video for Archaeology Rush. This is the update video for the 10th of September, and I have a feeling this is going to be a little bit of a shorter update video. I've been busy working for a upcoming mid-season event for a certain pirate game, which has been taking quite a lot of my time, and is definitely going to be played by more people than this has been played. But yeah, so I've only really got one thing on the docket that I want to discuss today, and basically it's how I fix telling my game's story. My game story was not working, or at least the letter system was not working. So I want to talk about the newspaper system that I've been fleshing out over the last week in between working a lot. So I've just jumped in. I actually don't know how successful this will be, but I've just jumped into the game, and there is a sort of the newspaper has been delivered. And I'm going to see what newspaper that is. Nice. Okay, a little bit bugged, but this is a slightly different newspaper. So this newspaper is about Pepper Ink's collection vanishing. So previously I had a letter system that gave you letters, and some of them would be like a flyer or a letter about things being added to your collection. But actually, whilst this is not perfect, and this system currently is a little bit bugged, we have the ability to basically sort of write different newspapers that then can be added and sent later in the game to tell different story beats. So what this did is that simplified the ability for us to tell these stories and not always have to kind of keep a massive collection. You only see the current news story. And yeah, so I've designed it here so that we've got current locations wrong, but we've got the title of the newspaper. There we've got Pepper Ink collection vanishes. I'm thinking of adding in like a little image here, but I haven't quite worked out exactly how I'm going to do that yet. So I've just left it blank. We've got the latest archaeologist like power rankings. So that's each character. So there's 4 characters that you can play as in this game. It's their collections power ranking. And then, yeah, as you can see, Pepper Ink collection vanishes. So next week I'm going to do a playthrough, and that'll include the new story content. So I'm not going to jump into that now, but let's just have a look about behind the scenes, because that's what these changelog videos are about. So first of all, I actually have not got this set up how I would like it to be set up, but we can work with that. So here, this is the scene for the desk. And so you see the newspaper. This is what the default newspaper is. Paris selected for 1922 World's Fair. Grand award offered for most outstanding archaeological display. So that is the kind of like, if you watch previous, that is the invite. That is the instigating feature of this narrative. And I think it's a lot more prominent displayed in a newspaper versus displayed in an invite where you're trying to get information. So yeah, but on the right here, we have a collection of different newspapers. So you can see Paris selected for 22 World's Fair. Got the subheadline there. You've got the location, and so that appears up on the top, and then you've got the date, and it automatically works out like what day of the week it would have been. And so we've got here one called Henry Lost, and that's the one we have just seen. Pepper Ink collection vanishes. Police investigation launched as Sir Henry Pepper is left empty-handed. Sir Pepper has already left the land of the pharaohs. So, like, I've just whacked in a little bit of writing, but like, I've got to edit some of this dialogue. But the fun thing is, we can jump into the dialogue editor that I'm using. You can actually see that there's a function: do set newspaper Henry lost. And so I had to write in this function. But yeah, so what it means is that when we arrive in Egypt and this dialogue plays, we can go and give that newspaper to the, we can set that newspaper as active so that when players jump over to the, so open up the map, so when players go to a campsite, if they get into the area or if they press the action button, then they are able to see the newspaper. So yeah, that's all I wanted to discuss for the minute. I think we'll leave it there. Just a little bit of a shorter one because, as I said, I've just been very, very, very busy between my daughter starting nursery and working to make sure that lots of players can enjoy an event for a certain pirate game stably, or as stable as we can make it. So yeah, anyway, you can play the latest version of this build, and it's got new dialogue and all that we'll go through in a bit. But yes, that can be found on itch.io, so that's great. The link's in the description. If you want to follow the development of this game, just feel free to subscribe to this channel, or there is also a playlist that you can regularly check if you're interested. I try and update every week about it, even if it's small like this week, or most weeks I actually get a little bit further on, even if I do end up undoing my work, but that's just game development, hey. But yes, on that note, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful week, and goodbye.